Welcome to the Yeretz Elohim podcast, where the fear of the Lord isn't just a concept, but a way of life. In a world that's lost its reverence for God, we stand firm, diving into scripture, wisdom, and unwavering obedience. This is more than a conversation, it's a call to walk in the true fear of the Lord. Honor Him, seek Him, fear Him. Let's get into it. Another episode is episode 33, right?
33.
33, awesome. The topic that we're on is what does tithing look like? I got a verse here that I'll read off. It is Proverbs 3, 9 through 10. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the best part of everything you produce. Then He will fill your barns with grain, and your vats will overflow with good wine. First question I have for you, Isaac, is have you seen any spiritual or practical blessings from tithing?
Absolutely. I mean, time after time again, God shows me that, first of all, God could have asked for so much more than just 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, He could have asked for 50% and it would have been justified. He could have asked for all of it and it would have been justified, but He only asked for 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And when we actually go out and give out tithing, I have seen many blessings. I mean, God has taken care of me over the years. The blessings that I've seen with money especially is when I'm tithing, it comes back at me in ways of my school getting paid for, books getting paid for, even stuff with the clothing brand that I'm starting. It's like I've been given equipment that otherwise I couldn't have been able to afford because I've just been walking in obedience with tithing and honoring God in that aspect. I mean, there's been multiple times and there's been multiple years even where I really have not given my tithes where I should have. And I've acknowledged it and I've asked God for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And, some days there's still times I struggle, but give it nevertheless.
I think we all fall in that, though, given that 10%. I mean, it really isn't a lot for everything that God has given us in this world. But, yeah, and I think people look at that, what you're saying is how you'll find blessings from it. People look at it as, like, good karma. It's not karma. It's just the Lord almost giving back to what you gave. Like, it's a back and forth. It's a relationship. God's always going to give more because He's our Father. But, yeah, I think people get that mixed up with, like, that's just good karma. I did this. So no.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as karma.
Yeah.
No such thing as luck.
Yeah, no.
There's it's called God blessing you and then God correcting you and you just having the natural consequences in your life. Yeah, absolutely. I think people who tithe genuinely, it's like what it says in the Bible. You reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you sow good things, you're going to reap good things. And if you sow bad things, you're going to reap bad things.
Yeah.
So if you decide not to tithe because you're being greedy with your money, bad things might follow you, And on the flip side, if you are not greedy with your money and you're very freely with how you tithe your money and you're not holding on to it and you know that it has come from God, therefore Him asking for 10% is only the right thing to do, He's going to bless you. Absolutely.
And it's the same thing with the tithing. Like, you're not doing it for your own personal gain. Like, you're like, I'm better than you. I don't know if you're the one that said it, but you're like, oh, I'm going to drop this coin. And it's going to be the loudest coin that hits the bucket because I'm showing that I gave the most money. Like, the most coins I drop in this bucket, it's like the most money. I don't know who I got that from, but I heard that and I was like, yeah, it's true. Like, some people almost be like, what's the word? Like, they'll be like, I don't know what's the word for it. Not selfish, but like...
They want the applause almost, for giving however much, and they want to pat themselves on the back, and they want to be recognized of their good doings, but that doesn't need to be recognized. I mean, God is the one that's going to recognize it, and that's the only recognition that truly matters.
Yeah, and you can't... I also think tithing is like, you can't do it when you're doing good in life.
Yeah.
You have to give when you're down bad in life, like you're not making that much money, or you don't have that much stuff. And also tithing looks like another thing where it's like, if you don't have the money, then give your time, because time is important. So give your time to someone, give your time to someone that's in need or something that needs to be fixed. Like, if you give your time, that's a % of tithing because you gave your time. And I actually heard that the coin thing from my pastor. Now that I think about it, my pastor was saying, like, when tithing was happening, it's like you drop the coin and people will do it and see if it gets louder, and the more dings it makes is like, I'm the best one. That's how people used to look at tithing. And that was the wrong way to look at it. It's not how much you give, it's how you give it. It's the heart posture of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I got it from my pastor. Sorry, I thought it was someone else.
No,
but Next question is, in what ways can you be generous outside of financial tithing, either time, talents, resources? Let's go back to what I was just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much true. If you can't tithe money,
Mm-hmm.
tithe your time, tithe your community services. I mean, there's so many people that go on mission trips, but they don't have money, and it's like they're just going and they're spreading the good word of God in their neighborhoods, or they're just, helping the homeless, or they're helping a women's shelter or a men's shelter, just trying to recuperate. There's many ways to tithe. And I believe that in a sense, like, even this happened a few months ago, like, I felt the need that I needed to help this one guy out. And I just asked him, hey, what do you need from the grocery store? I'll go get it. And he told me, and I did just that. That almost to me looks like a form of tithing. I mean, obviously, if you can tithe your base, tithe the 10%, but you can go more than just that. And when you do tithe the 10%, don't just think that's it, I'm good until I get paid next time. God is going to provoke things on your heart all throughout life. I mean, it says it in the Bible somewhere where a boy was asking Jesus, how can I be perfect in your eyes? How can I be like you? And Jesus was naming these things, and the boy said, yeah, but I'm already that. How do I truly become someone like you? And Jesus said, well, give up all of your possessions, give it to the poor, and live amongst the poor and serve them. And this was a man that had much money, and he walked away sad because he knew he couldn't give away his money. And it's like, just the fact of giving away something that truthfully means a lot to you may be a form of tithing in a sense. And maybe it's not tithing, maybe I'm looking for a different word, but just honoring God is giving up something that is hard for you to give up.
I think tithing goes back to, like, tithing, the word that is, like, you're using tithing for helping people, whatever. But I think tithing's, like, to the church specifically. Like, so whether that is a mission trip, if it's going to the church, and the money that is going to the church is helping it stay and function, helping the pastor keep going to church. Like, so it is important to tithe specifically to the church because there is reasons for that. And I like churches that express, like, how much they're spending on what they're doing, what projects they have. Because it is our money. Yeah, we gave it up, so it isn't our money anymore. But it's nice to know
where it's going.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what you're referring. I know what you're referring to. I just don't know what it's called. So it could be tithing.
I think that there's multiple ways to tithe. Like, for instance, I don't think it deliberately only has to be tithing in a bucket at church. I think if, let's say, the tithing amount that you were going to tithe is $50. If you feel the need to tip someone $50, like, I feel like that could be a way of tithing in a sense. I don't know if I'm wrong in that thinking.
If you do that, do you still tithe to the church?
And that's where it gets weird, and I think you should keep it your base. You tithe the 10 to the church that you are attending, and you give that to the church that you are attending because you want to keep that church afloat. You want to keep that church going. And so that church can continue on with more projects. But then later on, when you have already tithed, you may get provoked on your heart that you need to give more money, or you need to give more time and
to someone else effort. Or some type of help. Okay. No, I get that. See, that's where I get mixed up. Like, I always want my 10% to go to church, but I know there's also a need for other things in my world, my family, friends, and in my head, it looks like tithing because I don't want to call it something else like good karma. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't think that's a thing, so I'm not going to give money to someone and try to receive good karma from it. That's not my thing, so that I'll call it tithing. I was like, I gave whatever to this amount. It's probably called something else. I don't know exactly what it is.
I don't tithe because I think God's going to bless me. I tithe because I owe it to God. I owe
posture.
Everything to God.
Yeah, your heart posture. You can't look at it like, okay, hopefully I'll get something out of this if I give this much amount. Yeah, it literally is all your heart posture and, like, how honest you're being with yourself.
Yeah.
Because you have to be very honest with yourself on why you're doing it, what are you doing. Because it could go really sideways if you really think about it. It could look like you just want to be all like, I'm better than this person, I'm better than that person. You don't want that.
No, that's not what it's about.
No. Got another question. Do you see tithing as an obligation, an act of worship, or some other spiritual, or do you just see it as a thing you have to do? No,
I mean, I look at it as an act of worship almost. And maybe not an act of worship, but an act of obedience. Like, God has called us to do something, therefore we should do it. And like I've said before, like, God's love language is obedience. So when we go and we tithe, we're obeying his commandment. And where it says it in the Bible to tithe 10%, we're obeying God. Therefore, we're truthfully loving God. Sometimes it feels like an obligation, right? That's just the human in me. Sometimes it feels like, oh, man, I've got to tithe again. Then I got to restrict my mind. I'm thinking, no, I don't have to. I get to. I have the chance to work. I have the chance to make money. Therefore, I have the chance to tithe. It's not an obligation. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to give my money back to the one that was giving it back to me. I mean, think about it like this. Your dad has given you a car and you want to do something nice to repay him. Whatever that may be, that's time working with him, helping him out with his car, running an errand from him. You're just repaying him back. That's what tithing is. It should be that want to pay God back because he's blessed me so much. Therefore, I want to give him back what he truthfully deserves. And he deserves all of it, but you only ask for 10%.
That number, 10%, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it's derived from or anything. But it doesn't seem like a lot. But then when you go to the aspect of, like, I'm a human, and you're like, 10% seems like a lot. Like, if you're not thinking about, like, this is for God, and you're just thinking about, like, let's say you have to give 10% to, like, I don't know, something stupid, like a super center, like a grocery store or something. You have to give 10% to that building or that whoever's in charge of that. You're like, that's a lot of money. Why is this person getting a lot? And I think people look at it that way. They're like, that's a lot of money just to give to something, not that you don't believe, but that you can't see. And I think that goes back to the faith aspect. You can't see your faith. You can't see certain things because it's all faith. Like, you gotta just believe. It does seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, like, Jesus gave his only life. You have this world. God's given everything. He's everything. Like, it's like 10% is nothing.
It's nothing.
So, yeah, you keep saying the 10%. It's like, yeah, that's really nothing. Like, it seems like a lot. No. Like, if we were to give it to some random thing.
I mean, let's say you get a paycheck of $500. 10% is $50. Sometimes it feels like a burden to tie that $50, but then you'll go to the store and see a hoodie for $50 and get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like one feels like an obligation. The other one feels like, yeah, I'm just treating myself. But it's like, why is that? Why do we have that feel like? And I think that that's just the devil trying to deceive us and trying to manipulate us and thinking, yeah, no, you could skip this week. Tithe again next week.
Yeah, and even if I get a lot of money, I would always want to act poor or, like, be in a way that myself is, like, poor. Because if I act rich and I act all about myself, you just want to be humble. It doesn't matter how much money you're making or whatever. It's just, you want to be humble, and then you always want to get that 10%. And yeah, it'll be more sometimes, and sometimes it'll be less, but it always has to reach that minimum. And it's tough because I want to. It's just tough, especially if you're church hopping and stuff. Like, you want to give money to a church you're, like, involved with. So in my scenario, I'm church hopping, so, like, giving money to random churches is not a bad thing, but it's like I would like it to be.
Now you really don't see where it's going.
Yeah. So people could look at it like that, like. Well, I gotta be situated in the right place, right time.
And, I'm just giving my input to your situation. When my dad was church hopping for a little bit, he was giving tithing only to one church. And it wasn't the church that he was going to. It was a church that he knew needed money. And he was tithing his 10% to that church while still hopping to other churches. So, I mean, I think that that's okay. Yeah, if you have, like, a church in mind that you really love and respect, but you're just simply trying to find a new one because I know you and Kay are trying to find something that's compatible. I think it's okay to go ahead and tithe to a different church, even if you're going in between churches. Like I said, my dad, he did that. I've done that before where I feel the need that I need to tithe for this church instead. But also another thing, and maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I pray that the Lord corrects me, but also, like, I'm sure you can donate money. Like to a charity or something, like, and that's where you would have to pray and really see where God is leading you in your heart to see where he wants your money to be directed. But I think the biggest thing with tithing is having that conversation with God and asking him, what do you want me to do with this money? You want me to tithe you 10%, but where exactly do you want me to place it? Where do you want me to tithe it to?
I always felt like it was supposed to go to church. Like I feel like it has to go to church. But I know my 10% could be in time, my profession, my talent of whatever I'm in or whatever I'm doing. I know it could be in that. I don't know. Oh, no, it is coming from my heart. Because I know if I do something like that, I'm not doing it for money. I'm volunteering that time. We used to do it as kids. We'd volunteer our time and go help more kids follow Christ.
Yep.
And since it was part of God and it was something to do with God, I felt like I was not doing something good, but I was giving back. Yeah. So in that aspect, I wasn't tithing money, but I was giving something back to God, almost like more children.
Yep. You were serving others, and we're called to do that as well. Yep.
So I've been in that scenario, and I think you're right. I think if I don't have something and I feel the need, or God's calling me to tithe to a church, I should find one. And I think I should. It's good advice, actually.
Yeah.
Because I've been church hopping for a little bit now, and it's like, I'm not tithing every Sunday because I don't know what church I'm going to.
I would select the default church.
Yeah.
And then if you do go to a church and you feel led to donate to that church, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't feel it with the church that you're at that current week, donate to your default.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or ask God. I mean, God will answer.
Yeah, he'll give me some answer.
Yeah.
We're doing these.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're doing these quiet times. I'll find the answer in there.
No, but I mean, something that I just want to add, like tithing is genuinely so important. And I know we already talked about it, but it really is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Being able to tithe is one of the best things ever, because we're able to show God, I'm appreciative of what you've given me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I owe you.
Yeah.
And this is what you deserve so much more, but here's what you require from me.
Yeah.
And God truthfully does bless those. I mean, it's very apparent. It says, what, in the verse, that he will fill the barns?
Wealth and
like God will bless you. Now, that shouldn't be your intention.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to do this just so he could bless me. But he will bless you. He will provide for you. I mean, it talks about the woman giving her last penny in the Bible, and seeing that her obedience was just so strong and her faith was just so strong that it meant more than the rich people giving something that didn't hurt their wallet.
Yeah.
You know?
And the crazy part is you don't even have to give, and God will still bless you with certain things. Like he'll do it no matter what. He'll give you blessings that you're like, I don't even deserve this. I've never given you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he does that to prove to you, like, hey, I am here for you. That doesn't mean you get to slack off and not do this or that.
No.
But he does bless us even if we're not helping him. Like, and that's a beautiful thing too. Yeah. But if we do give our 10%, don't expect more, but know something is coming.
Yeah.
Something will always come, because your heart will be good because your heart posture was good about it. If it wasn't, I don't know if that's a good heart posture. I don't know if that's healthy in a way. I don't think you should be giving money so you can feel good about yourself. It should be feeling good that you did something for God.
Yep.
And I know feelings is like a whole thing that we're not supposed to be all feely.
And that's where the devil is going to try to cast confusion. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's all I got. I mean, I don't know if you got anything else.
Yeah. No, but tithing is very important, very needed, detrimental to the relationship with you and God. If you are struggling with tithing, know that you're not the only one. It's very much a common issue. But the best thing that you can do is read your Bible, see where it says in the scripture where it truthfully says to tithe, and do your own research. I mean, I feel like a lot of people tithe because they're told to, and although that's not wrong, I mean, it's great that people are explaining things and teaching things. I feel like it's also important to then go and do your own research and figure out why you're tithing, so that it doesn't feel like an obligation. But then once you go and you understand it because you've done that research, now it feels like, it's a choice of mine. I get to make this choice. Yeah. God doesn't force us to tithe. He asks us to tithe. So when we go and we make that choice, it should feel like, yes, I want to do this. Mm-hmm. I want to do this because I love my God and I want to honor him with everything that I do. Mm-hmm. And that's one of those things. It's tithing. Yeah. So absolutely. Yeah. He loves us and we love him. So you keep giving back and he'll give towards you too. 100%. You're not wrong. I think that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.